years. So if you're watching this recording, you are a holiday lagger. All right. Just want them to know that. So hey, welcome to our holiday week. All right. So Sal, did you get a waffle? Okay. Make sure help yourselves on the waffles and all that great stuff. But thank you guys for being here. I know people are on winter break. I know it's a morning meeting. All right. I know we have college kids that are sleeping in right now. But thank you guys for choosing to be here because you're choosing growth, you're choosing to get better and all that great stuff. But some of the guys that were here early, they already heard me talk about this, but back here is the CABO contest. Okay. This is the big thing that you're going to hear me talk about every single moment for the next 6 weeks, right? Is getting as many people qualified for this trip. It's the easiest time. This is the easiest way you'll ever hit one of our company trips. Okay. We have a rep trip, a national rep trip every year. It takes $175,000 to hit that trip for the year. We also get a chance to hit this trip in your fast start contest, which is 20,000. And this is the really like this is the only way to hit it. The easiest way to hit a trip is in January. And why do you guys think we do this trip or this trip contest incentive in January?
Starts off the year, right?
Starts off the year right, right? So it's like if you're any business, you want to get a good start to your year, right? Our office is no different, our region is no different, right? And also we know like that momentum that is created in January is going to carry over, right? Like think about it. If you crush January, you're probably going to have a good February, right? If you have a good February, you're probably not going to slow down in March, right? And then it leads you into the summertime, right? And then that's summer break. So now, versus you just having 3 weeks of no school, no interruptions, you have 3 months during the summertime, right? And then think about what your skills are going to be at by that point. Think about how confident you're going to be. Think about all those different types of things. You're going to be at higher percentages. Like imagine going into the summer being at 30-30, right? Also getting some bonuses and different things like that. So that's why this is a big focus for myself and for our office because I know like how important it is if we can crush the first month of the year, it's gonna pay off in all different areas of your life, right? If you got your biggest paycheck in January, that's going to help you be able to hit some other of your January goals or get a head start on that, right? What are most people's New Year's resolutions? Something money related, right? It's like either save more money, right? Invest more money, use money to do something, right? So like money is usually a big focus for a lot of people going into the new year, right? You're gonna see everybody share their posts, right? This year, this is gonna be me in 2026, and it's gonna be a bunch of money and stuff like that, and all that great stuff. So we're not only dreamers in our office, but like we're creators, right? And we have a lot of control over our own destiny. So let's bring it back to this week that we're in, right? This week is a very important week because it is the hardest week of the year to be productive. Okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's still hard for me to be productive this week, which is why I did a morning meeting today because it gets me up early, right? It's like I didn't want to like do an evening meeting either because it's like I just want to like get the day, like get the work done so that way I can start enjoying like Christmas. But it's even harder to like get back going, right? So like think about it, right? Like you just worked hard this weekend doing all these appointments. And then imagine like you're gonna take, a few days off or, like I don't know what you're gonna do, but most people take a few days off and then it's so hard to get back going those next days, right? Because then you're like, ah, man, the sleeping then is getting nice. You start getting used to it, you start getting super comfy with it. And then that trickles into your first week of the year. And then that first week of laziness is going to roll over. And then now you create the momentum going the wrong direction. So that is my goal here today is to try to negate that, like try to prevent that from happening for as many people as possible. And here's the thing, here's the reality of it. I know it's going to happen to somebody. Someone's going to hit the holiday hangover and They're just not going to get going until like mid-January. But I want to try to prevent that from as many people as possible because I know it's going to pay off when you do the work. All right. Um, so CABO contest. Let me just go over some final details with this. And I'm recording this so that way, if you're like, okay, I don't actually understand the contest, you can look back at this and all that fun stuff. Okay. So if you're on Zoom screen, try your best. I'm not sharing like my screen or anything at this moment. But all right, the contest starts on the 30th. So use this week as like a momentum building week, right? Like your focus when it comes to building momentum before you go for a big contest or a push period. First priority is leads. Okay. So I have this document here for anybody that feels like they need to work on getting their names list a little bit bigger. Those of you guys that are in your fast start, you still need to go through your advanced trainings and stuff like that before I give you this. Maybe I'll give it to you guys because I like you guys, but there's going to be some ways to work on building your names list. Okay. And immediately what I think about, doesn't matter how long you've been working with me, everybody has a chicken list. All right. Sorry guys. We have a mini monster that controls our lights here. But no, that's Colin. Colin's here. So it's a party when Colin's here. All right. But yeah, your names list. That's gonna be the most important thing. Right. More people on your names list, the more demos you can do, the more demos you can do, the more recommendations you can get. A common mistake I see people make when they're working is fear of running out of recommendations, fear of running out of leads. And and I know it's like this is gonna sound hypocritical, but I want you guys to call through all your leads. I want you to try to book all your appointments. I want you to try to exhaust every resource because, right, if you're following the program and you're getting recommendations, that's going to create more recommendations than what you already had previously, right? So Justin has 200 names on his prospects section. All right. Now, not all 200 of those people are going to book a demo, but let's just say 10% do. That's 20 appointments, right? Now, Justin probably, and I'm just going to use you as an example, but Justin probably doesn't want to make 200 calls this week. Doesn't that sound a little scary, Saul? Making 200 phone calls, right? And I know you guys just started, but it's actually not that big, right? If you make 100 calls in a week, that's only 20 calls per day, 5 days out of the week. 200 calls, 40. 5 days out of the week. So you don't even need to make calls every week. But it's like if I'm trying to create massive results, create a big sales week, create a big paycheck week, big demo week, you want to try to schedule as many appointments as possible. And winter break is a great time to do that. Right. So it's like if I was you, Justin, that's exactly what I would do this week. I would rip off the Band-Aid, right? Like that is the hardest part because here's what now the other thing that's probably going through Justin's mind right now. He's like, well, not all these people answer. Some of these people I've been calling forever. Some of these people are gonna like reject me, right? I'm probably not gonna be able to get through all that list. Also, I'm nervous to call this person because of X, Y, or Z, right? You gotta like let all those fears out and just dive in, right? And you're gonna thank me later. All right. You're gonna thank me later if you do this and exhaust everything, right? Because then now when you create those 20 demos, let's just say you average 10 recommendations from each of those 20, you're back at 200. Now, what if you got your average up to 20? Now you can grow this list to like 400 people, right? And then you can start maintaining that average of 20 demos per week. All right. So that is what the best representatives do. All right. The mistake is like, oh, let me make just 40 calls this week. Let me just make 50 calls because I don't want to run out of that. And when you operate from a scarcity mindset, you're actually going to burn yourself out and you're actually not going to replenish that. And because you're just so scarce and you're trying to protect and you're operating from fear. And when you operate from that point, you're actually not going to grow and you will create what you're fearful of running out of people, right? So that is like the biggest mistake I see. So your names list is going to be big. If you're brand new, getting to 100 people on your names list as quickly as possible. And that's what's going to allow for you to be able to go for something big. Okay. So it's like if you really want to go to Cabo, if you really want to make a couple thousand, one, two, three, four, $5,000 in the month of January, you just got to go for it. You got to rip the band-aid off, and it's like, I'm just going to operate with no fear. And something that helped me with that, because I was a chicken. I'm not gonna lie. I was a chicken to make phone calls. I was afraid of rejection for the longest time as a representative, but I had to go tap into a different identity when I made my calls. Right. I had to tap in and be like, you know what? I am Kobe Bryant right now. I'm the Black Mamba of this phone jam. And I would just kind of tap into this identity and be like, what would Kobe do in this situation? Right. So whoever that person is for you, right? It's like, what would this person do? Would they be fearful and like avoid it? Right. And we all do different things to avoid that fear, to avoid the conflict. Some of us, it's like, oh, I'm going to use the bathroom right now. Oh, I'm going to scroll on Instagram. Oh, I'm going to clean my room now. All of a sudden, you want to clean your room, it's time to make phone calls, right? And we start to find these different excuses like mine now. Like I still run into this sometimes. Like sometimes there's things I need to do or conversations I need to have that I don't want to. And I'm like, you know what? I need to go pick up all the dog poop in the backyard. I need to go mow the lawn or what. And you start finding these distractions. Okay. So it starts on the 30th and it ends February 2nd. All right, it starts on the 30th, ends February 2nd. The first level is 12,000, right? So that's like the minimum I would want somebody to aim for in January. And what I was telling people is like aim big, right? Even if you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do 12,000, that's actually pretty normal. Most of the time when people set big goals, they don't know how they're going to accomplish it, but they're just committed to going for it, right? So they're just committed to going for it. And then as you're committed and going for it, things start to reveal itself, right? The path starts to open up and the light starts to shine, right? So that gets you the trip at 50% of the cost. 16,000 gets you the trip at 75%. 20,000 gets you the trip at 100%. Okay. And then anybody that's launched a little bit after this, they have to do $20,000, just like in the fast start contest. Okay. But um, but you see 50, 75, 100%. Some of you guys might be like, well, how expensive is this trip? I don't know. I don't know, but company makes it easy for everybody to go. The company always pays for it up front, and then they'll split it in like little micro charges that will go throughout like a certain time period afterwards. So don't worry about like even if you hit it at 50%, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to spend $1,500 or $1,000 or $500. Like I don't know how much it's gonna be, right? But it's always like we get like crazy big company discounted rates. So like you're gonna get this trip super, super inexpensive, which is cool. So don't worry about like how you're gonna pay for that, but just hit it, right? You also have the option to opt out. So it's like, let's just say, Evan, you sold 12,000 and you're like, I don't want to pay for it at 50%. Cool. You don't have to, but you still sold $12,000. You still made the income from that. You still boosted your career sales and you don't have to go on the trip. But just know if you say, John, I don't want to go to Mexico, I'm pretty good at selling. All right. So I'm going to try to close you on going on this trip because we're going to have so much freaking fun. Right. So that's gonna be the big thing right there. Okay. Now there's another kicker with this. Every friend that you have join our team. So we want your guys' friends on the team because we're trying to build something. We're trying to build something special. Okay. And then Brent, get in here. All right. We're trying to build something special right now for 2026. We're building our division, right? And we want to build a division with the right people, and like we already like you guys. That's why you guys are here on our team. And we want to build with more people that are just like you and all that great stuff. So when you have friends, and here's the cool thing about our job, there's a lot of flexible ways for friends to start. All right. Most of the time we think like excuses like, oh, my friend doesn't have time for that, or they work another job, or whatever the case may be. We have some people that are just going to work for a week and make $1,000 and dip, right? That's cool. That's totally fine by that with me, right? Like if that friend does that, that's awesome. It helps our team. They get pumped up because they're like, sweet, I worked for 1 week, made $1,000, and now I can go do something else, right? I get the experience. We also have some people that are going to work with us just for winter break they'll go back to school and then they'll come back for the summer break and work with us. So that's an option for people to work with us. And then we also are going to have our people that like want to be a part of the team, want to grow with us, want to move up and advance into upper management. Like when I started this job, I was just doing it just for 2 weeks. That was my game plan, right? So and I heard about it from friends. They're like, just try it out for a couple weeks, make a few $100s. I was like, okay, cool, I'll go for it. It was great. And I was like, huh, this isn't too bad, and I kept doing it. Right. And then it was like I did it for 2 weeks and I was like, I'm just gonna do it for a summer. At the end of that summer, I made 10 grand as an 18-year-old. I was like, that doesn't suck. Right. And then I was like, all right, I'll do it until the end of the year. And then 13 years later, I'm still kind of doing that. Right. So it's just like as like people hit goals, as people get into the culture, they're gonna love all that great stuff right there. Okay. So every friend that starts, it counts as $1,000, or sorry, every friend that hits their first promotion counts as $1,000 credit towards this contest. This ends on January 5th, by the way. Okay, so this ends on January 5th. All right. That is for TLA members. So some of you guys already got some credit towards this. Like Kayla's like got $100 CABO excursion credit. So what that means is when you go to the trip, the company's going to give you pay for like something for you to do, like extra that that's outside that you would normally be on those costs by yourself. Okay. Other important dates I want you guys to know about is the year-end banquet. That's going to be January 31st. So we have our first big conference. I think that was Kayla's first conference, right? Kayla started around this time last year. And then this was Julie's first conference, and it's a great first conference to go to. Usually, that was my first conference when I was a representative. Usually, people that go to that conference end up becoming great managers, right? So there's a trend happening here. So that's another date that I want you guys to be focused on. But our goal for that contest is to be the number one office at that event. So we do these push period awards, and this is going to be an opportunity for you guys to win some trophies as well. So I always get asked questions about, oh, how do you win this trophy or how do you win the swords and stuff like that. Like most of them are trophies from these like large events that we do, and the whole region comes in. People flying in from Alaska, Guam, Hawaii. Luckily, it's just in LA, so we just have to drive down the street. But everybody on the west coast of our country will be at this event. Okay. But our goal is to be in the number one office, but it all starts with having a great January. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do right now. All right. Everybody's gonna get a goal that they're gonna be working towards, right? And basically I just want everybody to know like their plan. All right. And I want you to just stick to the plan and trust the process. Right. Like I was talking with Johnny, he just needs to do 2 demos a day for the rest of his fast start to hit his goal. Right? 2 demos a day, 5 days out of the week, right? And he'll hit his fast start goal. Justin needs to do 12 demos over the next 3 weeks, right? Or is it 5 weeks? So Justin needs to do 12 demos a week in January for him to hit his January goal, and just trust the process. All right. Sometimes people are like, oh, like if they don't see the sales results that they want to see in week one, they stop putting in the effort. All right. Our business is momentum based. So week one, you might need to put in a lot of effort and you'll get a small result. Week two, you need to put in more effort, right? But you might still just get a gradual increase. But usually somewhere around like week two, week three is like when people pop and explode, right? And then sometimes you get like bigger results than you're expecting right out of the gates, right? So it's important to make sure you don't let that get to you, right? And keep putting in the effort, because if you get like, there's going to be some luck, right? The harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. So it's like if you get lucky and you pop a big order like early on, don't let that take off the pressure of what you need to do. Still hit the 12 demos, still hit the 2 demos a day, like whatever that number is, because you're gonna have a down day, right? You're gonna have a day where, like, you're like, oh man, this day sucked, right? And it's all gonna balance out, right? It's all gonna balance out. But if you're on fire, you're on fire, right? So sometimes when that happens, you do something bigger than you even thought would be possible. Okay. So other than that, you guys, if you already have your plan with like how many demos you need to do and all that great stuff, we're gonna do a phone jam. Okay, so we're gonna do a little phone jam, and the goal today is book three, and then you're good to get out of here. All right, so just schedule three appointments, and then you're good to leave. Help yourself to waffles. Julie won't be up there just making waffles forever, but everyone here should know how to use a waffle machine. All right, if you make a mess, clean it up, or you get slapped. No, I'm just kidding. No one's getting slapped. That's abuse. But yeah, so just we're gonna make some calls. All right. Saul, Evan will help you kind of figure out your numbers and your goal. Luna and Hector, I'm gonna meet with you guys in breakout rooms real quick. And then yeah, just book some demos and then let's have a good time. All right. 2, 1, let's roll.
What's like the average like demo booking thing, like for every 10 phone calls?
10 to 1.
Okay, and then what about for
And then for family and
what
friends,
about for orders? That's what I was asking for orders, like for every how many demos you get one order?
60% is like the number
So
we use.
10,000.
Oh, actually, I would use
So
50%.
he's at 3,000 when he first fast start. He's on his fourth day now out of his 10th, so he has 6 days left to go, right?
He's actually at a little bit more. He's at 4,500.
That 4,500. So
Uh-huh.
he wants to get additional 7,500 throughout. I think it's the next 6 days that he has left.
Yep.
So breakdown on that is like $1,200 per day, three orders on average. And so demo breakdown per day for the next 6 days for three orders would be
Yep.
what?
I would,
Demo per day.
yeah,
Three,
demo
four?
goal per day. I would just say 4.
Four.
Yeah. All right.
I gotta go right now. I was
Okay.
just trying to get a verification.
Did you get that?
Or something. If I could do that, I'm maybe I know done. Brandon was telling me that all I have to do is just get.
So you want to aim for the additional 7,500.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Good
Good job on your first sale.
So
Thank you.
Hey everyone, Anthony made his first sale this week. Give him a round of applause right there.
I think it was awesome. At first, the second one, you heard me there.
Yeah, they're gonna get more as you get more comfortable, confident.
I acted very like nonchalant about it. I think that's what made him during the interview, during the demo. He was like, "Yeah, kind of interesting, but I don't know, think about it." And then when I texted him later, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, so what are you thinking? You still want that steak night?" He goes, "You know what? To my wife,
for your first
thinking about getting the gift set."
Mm,
I didn't even
Nice.
think- At first, he was just gonna buy like, like a $90 item.
Right.
He's like this guy first the holiday and yeah. So he was just like, "Yeah, I'll help you out." And then it was cool because he tripped me, right?
Right.
And I think I'm not sure how.
I know, that's great, man. All right, go get the phone thing handled and then I'll chat with you later, okay? Why are you late?
This here, this photo, and then it's here.
You're here.
I had to gargle some salt water this morning.
What?
My throat was ready, like when I go to sleep, my voice was gone.
Why? Were you screaming yesterday?
No, my throat was hurting.
Oh yeah.
The whole tail ending, my throat was like going. I was like, did I eat something? Like, oh.
All right, I'm gonna meet with these two real quick. Just make sure people are book some demos as well as yourself. All right. Luna, I'm gonna meet with you first.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.